Bless your daughters. Dads, are you hugging your kids? You see, the most important relationship for your daughter is that relationship she has with her father. Yeah, it is. She'll know how a man should treat her by the way dad treats her, and if you're abusing her and abusing your wife, then she'll grow up and she'll marry an abuser. Whew. Wow. You say, well, I'm just not the affectionate kind. Well, I have a word from the Lord for you. Change.
How to experience God's happily ever after? I put it this way: provide your kids a Christian education. Parents, husbands, wives, we're required to give our kids a Christian education. And I mean that in the literal term, to educate them in Jesus. This isn't something we delegate to the schools. It's not something we're to delegate to the church. This is your role and my role. I want you to notice in that passage, there's nothing about grades, sports, colleges, or careers. Yet if we're honest with ourselves, where do we do most of the discipling? Grades, sports, college, and career. Where do we do most of the delegating? Spiritual issues. We rely on a youth pastor to do it for us. We enroll our kids in Christian schools to do it for us. And we think it's handled. Let me just say this. Grades, sports, colleges, and careers will be taken care of if you kids get an education in Christ.
Don't lecture all the time, but listen. Seek to understand, not to be understood. So many times, parents, you just need to understand me. And yes, they do, but you need to listen. We need to start listening more and trying to understand where they're at or where they're coming from. It's so important when you're talking about a healthy relationship with your kids. You seek to understand and not to be understood. I'm telling you, when I was a youth pastor, number one complaint I heard from kids, especially when they got older, teenagers, I don't feel like I'm heard. I don't feel that I'm heard.
You've heard the saying, he's carrying a lot of baggage from his past, or avoid her. Baggage. But think about it. I mean, baggage, we get it from other people, the things that they do to us or say to us. And if we carry those memories around, in essence, we carry baggage. We begin collecting baggage when we're just little kids.
There you are.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, what?
Well, we were talking about building the tree house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love tree houses.
Yeah, it's just a thing. See, you can't help us build the tree house.
Why?
Well, you don't really want me to tell you.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, we were talking, the gang, we were talking, and,
Yeah.
well, you're too fat.
What?
You'll weigh down the tree house.
I'm not fat.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I'm not. No. Mommy just says I'm big boned.
Dinosaurs are big boned, you're fat.
No. Mommy says I'm chunky.
Peanut butter's chunky, you're fat.
No. Mommy says that I've lost weight.
I think you found it.
No. Mommy says I'm just different.
Your mommy says you're just different?
Yeah, I'm just different.
Go back to where you came from. I gotta go. Bye.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's one of the biggest lies we teach children. Words hurt. They cut deep. And if we carry around the words of other people, essentially what we do is we're collecting baggage. You see, we can't find our self-worth based on what other people think of us. We have to find our self-worth based on Christ and our relationship with Him. But it doesn't seem to be that easy. And as life goes on and we get older, we just tend to collect more baggage. Sometimes we pick up baggage from people who are very close to us, like a best friend.
No, I know, Shelley, I know. It's like we talked for 3 hours and it seemed like 5 minutes. I know. It's like we have this amazing connection, this chemistry. Okay, I'm just gonna say this, Shelley. I've never said this to anyone in a really long time. Shelley, I feel like you're my density. I really, really do. No, you're right. You're my destiny. That's what I meant. You're my destiny, right? I'm just so full. Hey, he's right here. I gotta go. Okay, bye. Hey, buddy, what's up?
Not much. Who are you talking to?
Talking to my mom.
Your mom's your destiny.
Yeah. I mean, she gave birth to me and everything. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Kudos.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you said Shelley.
Yeah. That's her name.
I thought your mom's name was Kelly.
That's her middle name.
Your mom's name's Kelly Shelley?
Yeah, and she was picked on a lot when she was a kid, so I just really try to encourage her all the time and tell her that I love her. What's wrong with that?
Okay,
I mean, that's a great thing to do.
Whatever. Did you talk to my Shelley?
Yeah, I did.
And?
She's not going to be your Shelley.
What?
Look, we just started talking. We just kind of hit it off. I mean, it just happened. I mean, we had this great chemistry. It just...
No. You were supposed to call her for me.
I did. I started out doing that. I did. You gotta believe me.
You're supposed to be my best friend.
I am. Don't let a girl come between us, okay? This is not a big...
You did this. Look, man, you know I've liked her since we were in kindergarten, and you were supposed to talk to her for me.
Yes, but I've been your best friend since kindergarten, and we've always said growing up, best friends forever, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? Forever just got a lot shorter.
Don't do this. Don't do this. It's a
You did this.
You're supposed to be my best friend. And our friends. They're just trying to get through life the same way we are.
Hey, so I've got a couple questions here from guys who have obsessive negative thoughts. They say that a negative thought comes into their mind, be it about themselves, someone else, doomsday, whatever the case may be, but things that don't make them feel good. And then they can't get it out of their heads. It becomes an obsession. And it's a spiral downward, which will ultimately lead to depression, because if you continue to harbor and entertain these thoughts, they begin to manifest themselves physically in your body and then in your world. It's no poetic saying that you become what you think about and that the world is your mirror. We are literally creating our world through the thoughts that we harbor. And it begins in how our body responds to the things that we think about. And if you think depressive things, your body, your energy becomes depressed, right? If you're thinking negative things, can you smile and laugh and tell jokes and go run around in circles with children and play and dance? Right? You can't do it because you've got depressive thoughts. And if you're really fucking excited, can you help yourself? Like if someone tells you you need to sit down and shut up and bottle it all in, but you're like, it's the night before Christmas, like a little kid. Tell a little kid to sit down during like Christmas, like put Christmas presents or birthday presents in front of them and say, sit there. They can't help it, the excitement's gonna burst out. So your body responds to your thoughts. What's going on is going to show up in your body. Well, thoughts are an interesting thing because like I alluded to before, we have to entertain them in order for them to have any power. Now consider this term entertain. Someone comes to your door, right? Your mom, you haven't seen your mom in a very long time, or an old friend comes to the door, your old friend comes to the door and you invite him into your house, and now what do? You entertain. You offer energy in his direction. Hey, would you like something to drink? Sure. Hey, have a seat. This is my favorite chair. I'd like you to try it out. Hey, check it out when you lean it back. Do you see how comfortable that is? Oh, I'll call my wife. Colleen, some of that dip that you made last night, do you have any of that left? We'd like to entertain our friend with some nourishing food. Hey, what kind of movies do you like? I've got a whole DVD collection. People don't have DVD collections anymore. We got Netflix and Hulu. Have you seen that movie yet? Let's sit down and watch it. By the way, let's have a beer while we watch it. That's entertaining someone who comes into your home, a friendly person who you'd like to have around for a while and allow them to grow roots for a moment. There are certain thoughts that make their way into the home of your consciousness. They knock on the door. Your first choice is to either let them in. I mean, before entertaining, you gotta let it in. Let the thought in or close the door. Slam the door shut. Okay? The way that looks is, I get negative thoughts. It's like, I really don't know why this keeps popping up. Here's one. I keep having this one. That I'm gonna get into a car accident. I don't know why, it's a new one. But I keep thinking that I'm not gonna be paying attention when I'm driving and my car is gonna demolished. For whatever reason, that keeps knocking on my door. Maybe I should pay attention to it. I wear my seatbelt, right? Maybe that's what it is, it's a warning. Put on your seatbelt and don't check your phone while you're driving. Take heed. But I don't let it in such that I start obsessing over car accidents and I become a nervous while I'm driving. I don't start watching videos about car wrecks. And when the news, on the news when there is a car accident, I start, oh, that could have been me. I don't entertain the thought. I don't go home and start talking about car wrecks and potentials for dying in a car accident with my wife and my friends. Because I'm not entertaining the thought. He came to the door, I peeked, I said, oh shit, and I walked away. He goes away. Now sometimes, oftentimes, because I attract them, beautiful thoughts come in, like goals I'd like to achieve.
And sometimes they're going to make poor choices, and we can either learn to forgive them or we can pick up more baggage. You know, the truth about baggage is we don't need other people to load it on us. We do a pretty good job of dumping baggage on ourselves when we compare ourselves to others. We think things like, oh, if I could be as popular as they are, if I could be as gifted and talented as they are, but I'm not. I'm a loser. I'm no good. And when we think that, we pick up more baggage. Or we find ourselves thinking, they have it made. And why is life so easy for them and so hard for me? I'm never going to make it. And when we buy into that lie, more baggage. And sometimes we pick up baggage from people who love us dearly. They just don't realize that their words cut like a knife.
Son,
Hey, Dad.
what happened out there?
The ball slipped. The lights got in my eyes.
The lights got in your eyes.
Yeah.
You know that's what cost us the game, don't you?
Yeah.
The ball slipped. How many times have I gotten up in the morning before 5 a.m., before I go to work on the stuff with you, huh? There were scouts out there. You realize that?
Dad, the ball slipped.
The ball slipped.
It did. I mean, what do you
Hey,
want?
Coach. Huh? No. Butterfingers, yeah. We're going to work with him. Uh-huh. All right. See you later. Are you crying?
No.
Well, don't. Pull it together. People are watching. I want you to grab your stuff. I'm going to go to the car and I'll meet you there, all right?
Dad.
I'm just disappointed in you, all right? These were our dreams, right? Grab your stuff.
And our parents, they don't mean to hurt us. It's just they've got their own baggage. And when you don't deal with baggage, you pass it on. And for us, we have to learn to find our self-worth only in our relationship with Christ. And if we don't, pick up more baggage. It gets uncomfortable, tedious, and our natural tendency is to want to dump this baggage onto someone else, but it always backfires.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
What are you doing in my room?
I just need to ask you a question.
What?
Can you give me and my friends a ride to school? It's cold and I don't want to ride my bike. What?
Are you really asking that?
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Just give me a ride and some of my friends to school.
You need to understand something. Just because you and your loser friends are in high school now doesn't mean I'm going to give you a ride, okay? Because look at me. You need to understand that when people look at you, they see a freak, all right? And if they know that I'm related to you, if they know we're brothers, they're going to think I'm a freak too, okay? And I'm not okay with that. So here's the deal. I don't care how you get there. I don't care if you have to walk or crawl or whatever, but I'm not going to be a chauffeur for you and your loser friends, okay?
It's not my fault that Dad left. Why do you keep taking out on me?
Whatever.
No, you know I'm right.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. You're only sorry that I'm calling you out. I'll just ride my bike.
I said I was sorry.
I'll ride my bike.
Come on. And in the process of trying to dump our baggage on someone else, inevitably what happens is we pick up more baggage. And then there's that one. My sin. My secret sin. It's cool. I mean, I've got it under control. Who am I kidding? Most of the time it has control of me. And this is the way I live. And yet, I hear the words of Christ who says, I've come that you may have life and may have it abundantly. I don't know about you, but this doesn't really feel like abundant life to me. I can't walk straight. I can barely keep my balance. And then I remember his words. Because Christ also said, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's what I want. That's what I want. So I go to God. God, please, if you're willing, would you take this baggage from me? Because God, I'm miserable and I can't live this way anymore. Please take it. And you know what? He takes it.
What you've got to understand, my friends, is that you are completely empowered. You have all the control. You are driving. You're in the driver's seat. You have your hands on the steering wheel of the thoughts you decide to harbor. It's your choice. Negative thoughts are going to knock at your door, but you're letting them in and giving them chips and dip. They're going to come. They're going to come to all of us. They come to me. Peek, recognize. If it's a warning, just be aware, and then move on. Go about your life. You know what the easiest way to move on is? Go do something for someone else. Go do something. Go wash the dishes for your mom. I do this. When I find myself too wrapped up in my own thoughts, I become too self-subjective. I'm feeling bad about something because it happens to me. You know what I do? I start cleaning my house. Thinking, boy, Colleen's gonna be happy when she comes home and the dishes are washed and all the children are bathed and I brushed my daughter's hair. I help them with homework. I go and do shit for other people so I can stop thinking about that is self-centered and and self-depressing. Okay? You understand? Two things. You're empowered. If depressive thoughts are coming to your mind, you say goodbye. An even more powerful way is replace him with someone else. That's number one. Number two, if you just can't stop, if he keeps knocking at the door and he's being annoying, hey, here I am. Bad shit's gonna happen, could happen. You're an asshole, you're ugly, you're no good. Whatever he comes with. Comes with all types of nasty baggage, usually specific to you and your situation. Close the window and go and do something for someone else. Someone else, not you, not because it's gonna help you, not because it moves you forward in the achievement of any superficial goal. You know what makes you feel happier than anything? All of us, human beings. What makes us happier than anything? Putting a smile on someone else's face.
Jesus himself said this, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot." Salt in the ancient world was the refrigerator. You would put salt on the meat to preserve the meat so it would last longer. Christians are to be salt on the earth, that this world that is non-Christian might last longer, that they'd have more time to come to God. The people of Judah were meant to be salt to Babylon. But if you don't put the salt on the meat will decay no matter what the quality of the salt. The problems we sometimes deal with, that Israel dealt with by becoming unto themselves, we want nothing to do with the Gentile world. They weren't interested in reaching or influencing or changing the world. They were interested in pulling back and protecting themselves so that they would remain pure. And God said that's a wrong attitude. And God forbid that the church take that attitude. Or that Christians today take that attitude. Salt, unfortunately, in many situations, is still in the shaker instead of on the meat. We all huddle together with our other pieces of salt because it feels more comfortable, because we're all alike. It's easy to do this. But the salt needs to get out there. This is a salt shaker.